I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories from across the country. No matter a person's challenges, never question the power of music. Jeff Zevely introduces us to an award-winning musician in California.
Before an unknown disease robbed Alex Yu of the ability to walk and talk, he told his parents, never give up. As a toddler, Alex Yu was healthy and happy. But between the age of 3 and 6 years old, things started to change. Alex's speech became slurred and he started to stumble. Alex's mother, Caroline, says for 12 years, doctors couldn't tell them what was wrong.
It was very difficult. It was challenging because we had to see many doctors.
Finally, in 2018, the Yus received a diagnosis.
It is a very rare neurodegenerative disorder called IRF2 BPL related disorder.
At the time, Alex was one of 20 people in the world with this disorder.
We were told he might not make it.
For many months, Alex was placed on hospice, and even during our interview,
we came across a competition.
Caroline and Alex's father, Bandy, jumped into action.
His oxygen levels are falling.
After increasing oxygen and suction, Alex was stabilized. And moments like these remind Caroline of something Alex told her before he lost his ability to walk and talk.
Never give up. Yeah, he just out of the blue one day just tapped me and I said, what? And he just said, never give up, and then just walked off.
Never give up.
That's what I've been holding on to all these years.
That and Alex's great joy for music.
Alex, your NFC cards came in.
He just turned 21. Alex is releasing his first album, which just showed up in the mail.
This is very exciting. Alex's songs are on this card.
With the support of music therapists, Alex composes his songs with his mom by blinking his eyes.
My name is Alex Yu.
They also rely upon eye gaze technology, and now he's an award-winning musician. Alex is one of 10 recipients of the Rare Music Award. His music is currently on display at an exhibit in Hawaii. The charity album hopes to raise money for other children suffering from the same disorder.
We hope this will be a message of hope to them.
Perhaps most fitting of all is what Alex named his album.
It is called Never Give Up.
In the Zevely Zone,
I live in San Marcos, California.
Jeff Zevely.
Wow, we are starting off strong this morning. Hopefully, there's a little something there that motivates you to keep going and never give up. A nonprofit in Texas has one purpose: help those in need with dental work. The group held a 2-day free clinic at a local church, and Randall Case spoke with the organizers and volunteers about the importance of the work they do.
So the dental clinic is a free dental clinic that the Texas Mission of Mercy puts on 4 times a year across Texas. And it is to provide free dental care for people who have financial barrier. So they want to provide cleanings, fillings, extractions. Our doors are going to open at 6 o'clock on Friday morning, so we will see patients from 6 in the morning until we get done probably around 5. And then on Friday and Saturday this week.
I've probably participated in north of 70 of these events altogether. This started in about 2002. Texas Mission of Mercy is a project of the Texas Dental Association. We probably have about between 80 and 90 dentists, a lot from around this area, but like I'm from Houston, we have somebody from Lubbock, people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We come from all over the place.
Most of them are practicing dentists still. Some are retired, and they just take the time and come back and give back to their communities. But they come from far down the tip of Texas. We have somebody signed up from Oklahoma. So sometimes they come from out of state to give back, but it's all free care they give, as well as we have about 350 volunteers per shift that all volunteer their time, as well as donations we've gotten from our community, which is huge.
I get the looks on the faces of the people that we're able to take care of. You know, people who came in here in pain and left with that pain taken care of. People who didn't feel comfortable smiling because of the appearance of their teeth, and they walk out of here and give us big smiles and big hugs. And if that was all there was to it, that would be worth it right there.
It is a great experience because until you work it, see how people, just how blessed they are, you can't imagine. You're tired, but it's the best tired you'll ever feel.
That was Randall Case reporting from Texas. Now, for many seniors, a pet is more than just a companion. They're family. I like to say my dog is my son. But as people age, caring for those furry family members can become more difficult. Riley Mack introduces us to a program helping seniors keep the pets they love.
The name may be Green.
We're in the Breton Village Green apartments,
But the years here are golden.
where our golden girls, as we call them, are.
Walking through these doors, not salesmen,
Morning.
not delivery drivers, not canvassers. They're here to make the rounds
Hi, Angel. Hello.
for the hounds.
He's just a happy get.
Meet our first golden girl
My name is Charlene,
and her golden boy.
and this is my baby.
Boy, Jackson.
This visit only lasts a few minutes.
Glands in his neck feel good. Those are not swollen.
But what it buys is another week together.
There was a point where I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get him what he needed because I'm on such a limited income.
That's where Vila Pignani comes in.
We do in-home veterinary care for seniors in West Michigan. They always want to care for their pet. That's their main companion, and they want to get them the best care possible. But before a partnership like this, that wasn't accessible to them.
Ashley Womersley
I'm a veterinarian.
and Nancy Leal
And I am the technician.
couldn't let that happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Not for the Golden Girls.
Theme song.
Yeah.
We always sing that song, "Thank you for being a friend."
We provide the care, and then Tyson's Place pays that bill off. So it's free for the residents.
It was nice to see you again.
An animal shelter called Tyson's Place foots the bill. So that for our second Golden Girl,
Yeah.
Sue Eskew
I mean, we're on a limited income here. We get Social Security.
and Gabby,
There you go, ma'am.
love
It means the world.
is still living independently.
It really does.
Can we see those teeth?
Either feed myself or take her to the vet when she needs care. And that's a tough choice.
Girl.
Tyson's Place has been a godsend to find people that will pay for that care. It's wonderful.
And down the hall, there's one more Golden Girl
Tell me what he means to you.
Oh,
who
everything.
knows exactly
He's my best friend.
how she feels.
Him and I are inseparable.
Sandy Story
And is he sleeping okay for you now?
and Mr. Puggins.
Good.
I don't have to worry because I know if he has a problem, they're right here.
Right here,
Boy.
where a little help
Yep.
means they get to stay together.
He's my buddy.
It's very rewarding.
They're so grateful, and we're so grateful, so it's a win-win.
There's only one thing left to say for this Golden Girl.
And I want to thank you guys.
Thank you
You mean a lot
for being my friend.
to everyone in here.
And that was Riley Mack reporting from Michigan. We are sharing the emotional story of two siblings who didn't know the other existed for nearly 7 decades. They met recently. Maura Vaughn was there for their reunion. Check this out.
Meet Bob Wilder. He grew up in Williamsville before he moved out to California. He was adopted at birth and didn't search for his biological parents until he had his son.
I went to my parents and said, you know, there may be a time in my life that I would want to pursue finding my biological parents just for medical reasons for my son.
30 years later, Bob decided to do something about it. He not only found his mother, Betty, on Ancestry.com, but another possible family connection, a half-sister named Tammy who lives in Lackawanna.
We ended up just coming to the realization that, yeah, we are actually brother and sister. through our mother.
A half-brother and sister who had never met, but both grew up in Buffalo at the same time.
Today we watched the moment that Tammy and Bob reunited for the first time in their lives as siblings.
Into our playground.
Yeah.
Excuse me, can I interrupt for a second?
Oh my God.
A bond that can't be described. A brother and a sister together at last.
He's not really here, but he's here. Amazing. Really is. Aw.
Tammy grew up with two brothers with their mother, Betty. They didn't even know there was an older brother, Bob, that was given up for adoption in the 50s until Tammy reached out.
I just want to tell my mom it's okay. I mean, we're together. Yep. We're together. That's all that matters.
Bob and Tammy also discovered another sister, Kim, who also lived in Buffalo. Kim has since passed. The two say there's no point in thinking about the life they didn't have together, but to make every moment count from here on out.
A lifetime to catch up
Yes.
on and just look forward to, the future being together.
Yes.
That was Maura Vaughn reporting. Oh my goodness, what a story. I hope we get an update on them spending holidays together or something in the future. All right, coming up, soccer was her life. That is until a rare disorder forced her off the field. We'll introduce you to the team that gave her her purpose back. Plus, a young athlete is chasing her dream of competing in the Olympics. Meet the track star who is off to a promising start at the very young age of 9 years old. One woman in Texas couldn't imagine life without soccer, but after being told she would never play again, she found her way back to the game. Cole Sullivan shows us how.
Some amazing memories growing up.
When sport becomes life,
That was pretty special.
there's no way to let go,
It reminds me of the good times I had.
even when life tries to force you.
He looked at me and said, if you don't stop playing, you're going to end up in a wheelchair by the time you're 30.
For Shannon Wilson,
And I beat that by 5 years.
soccer was her world. Revisiting the past
This is my first soccer team.
brings back memories.
I'm one in the hideous pink shorts and the hideous haircut.
She played from when she started walking
I wasn't a superstar, but I wasn't half bad.
until she couldn't anymore.
And it took 6 years to get my diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder.
Life sidelined her soccer and her purpose
I was spiraling. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
until
What the heck is this?
Ready?
one day
Let's do it.
she found a way to play.
Mine, 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 mine.
Power Soccer, a wheelchair league with a North Texas team.
Mine!
This team is called North Texas Fully Charged. Good job, Kaden. Good job, Kaden.
Led by coach Joseph Villegas.
So we just need to adjust the headrest. Once a ball is rolling, they're independent. They're passing the ball, their skills is what comes to play.
Yeah.
Go.
The competition is where Wilson thrives.
Your ball, your ball, your ball.
And playing here has given her new purpose.
Ole, 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 ole.
Get it out. Oh, no.
Her family sees it.
She becomes bubbly. And without that, it was like, well, let's get through the day.
She sees it too.
For once, I didn't feel like I stood out like a sore thumb. I just kind of melded in. There you go.
Soccer can still be her life
Go, girl.
on a team of players
Mine!
who love it as much as she does.
Go, 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 go.
In Carrollton,
My man.
I'm Cole Sullivan.
That was perfect.
Ah, that's awesome. A 9-year-old in Texas is proving big dreams can start early. Check this out. This young lady here, just earned a spot at the Junior Olympics. It's an accomplishment many athletes spend years chasing. Adriana Alexander shares the determination that's helping the young athlete chase gold.
First, second, and third. Let's bring it home.
She said, Coach, I'm going to be a junior Olympian. And
that's where she is.
9-year-old Layla Dumorin has set her eyes on the gold.
I was really dedicated. I really wanted it, so I ran my hardest and my best.
After running track and field in Copper's Cove for around a year, Layla earned one of the final qualifying spots in this year's Junior Olympics.
My best event used to be the 200, and now it's starting to be the 400 meter, and that's the event I got into Junior Olympics with.
Let's go, Cheetahs! Despite being new to running, Layla's coach, Christopher Moorhead, said he knew she had it in her to go far.
Once the season started going on, you could tell that she started getting more comfortable with the training, with what comes with it, and she gave it her all.
And Layla says she's put the work in to earn her spot in the starting blocks.
It's gonna feel amazing because I really did put my heart and soul into running track.
For the Dumorin family, the journey to the Junior Olympics is also a chance to celebrate their heritage.
This is a big opportunity, for her, because we're all Haitian descent, but she was born here, so she's also part of being of Haitian. So it's great for her to support the Haitian community as well.
Together, they say this opportunity is about representing both the Copper's Cove community and their Haitian heritage on a national stage.
I'm beyond proud, she's really talented, and I'm really proud of her.
That was Adriana Alexander reporting from Texas. All right, coming up after this break, a wonderful wedding. We'll show you how one woman, with the help of healthcare workers, made sure her father got to be a part of her big day. And still ahead, a volunteer in Virginia is spreading hope and lending a helping hand. Now, she's made a mark on the community for nearly a decade. Some say your wedding is the most important day of your life, but what if the most important person in your life couldn't be there? Well, that's what happens to a woman who had been planning the wedding of her dreams. Lindsay Buckingham shows us how she kept the faith and made it happen.
Courtney Coccaro has always been a daddy's girl.
He's always been my hero.
55-year-old John Weedo was Courtney's soccer coach, protector, and someone who taught her to see the good in everything.
He was a paramedic a majority of my life.
Who never walked past anyone who needed help.
We have so many family friends back home who would call them when they were in distress and just needed someone to talk to and needed an ear. He was always that person.
So when it came to finding a husband,
if you have a good man in your life, you tend to marry someone very similar to that man.
She chose Michael Coccaro. John welcomed him as a son from the start.
He showed me how to change my oil for the first time. When my dad got sick, he was there for us.
Now John is fighting for his own life, battling stage 4 melanoma. When doctors said he might not live to see the wedding, the family rescheduled twice.
He ended up developing a blood clot in his lung.
And John was back in the hospital.
I did not want to have a wedding without him walking me down the aisle. It was not negotiable.
So on May 16th, they brought the wedding to him. Thanks to Cleveland Clinic's nursing staff, who gathered chairs, decorations, and even a cake.
They did a lot of stuff that they definitely didn't have to.
Courtney and Michael were married on the rooftop at sunset. John, there to give away his daughter to the man of her dreams. A moment, they say, was heaven sent.
We both cried so much, so many happy tears.
John is comfortable at home now. They're savoring every moment.
We want to go fishing one more time. We want to watch movies together.
She'll forever carry on his legacy of goodness, because on the most important day of her life, the universe gave it right back.
It was a miracle. There's no other way to describe it. You forget how much is there just based on what's going on in the world, and having that kind of love shared in a room was absolutely spectacular.
Lindsay Buckingham.
Dad, I love you with all of my heart and soul.
Already still to come this morning, Maine Maritime Academy's brand new flagship vessel is home after its inaugural mission. We'll get a look inside at the state of Maine and a special friendship between a young Buffalo Bills fan and quarterback Josh Allen. How a simple handwritten note is bringing hope to a little girl battling cancer. Thank you for staying with us here on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet, and we are continuing to bring you uplifting stories from across the country. For nearly a decade, one volunteer has made it her mission to help others at a hospital, but along the way, she says she's gained some things in return, including purpose, connection, and more independence. Ashley Smith shows us how the hospital community is helping the girl make her mark.
Ashley Bruno says service starts with the desire to help.
I feel proud to make a difference.
Since 2017, Ashley has volunteered at Centera Princess Anne Hospital, cleaning tables in the cafeteria and delivering comfort items to patients on the courtesy cart.
I like to make the patients smile.
Get those gloves on.
It's a role her mom, Carolyn, says Ashley envisioned years before she received her volunteer badge.
She has a note that she wrote 20 years ago that says, I want to work at UNC Chapel Hill. And it says, I want to push carts, I want to give IVs. She wanted to work at a hospital.
Ashley has Charge syndrome, a rare genetic disorder that Carolyn says primarily affects her vision and hearing. But here, Ashley is known for what she can do.
Centera has a very unique perspective of what individuals with disabilities can offer, and clearly they saw just a lot of joy in Ashley.
More than 1,000 volunteer hours later, Ashley is still spreading joy while gaining more independence.
She rides the HRT here by herself. I meet her here.
And just as Ashley found her place at the hospital, Carolyn did too, becoming a volunteer herself.
I'm here just to support her.
Carolyn says she can step away to play piano in the hospital lobby, knowing Ashley has a community cheering her on.
Everybody here wants her to be a part of Centera and actually makes her feel included and a part of Centera.
And with the team believing in her, Ashley says she has even more reason to believe in herself.
I feel proud as I make others happy.
That is so awesome. And I bet the folks who are actually employed at the hospital love running into Ashley just as much as their coworkers. I'm glad that she has the opportunity to do that and help out. And that was Ashley Smith reporting from Virginia. Now, Ashley, she's also making her mark outside the hospital. She represented Team Virginia in golf at the Special Olympics USA Games, where she brought home a bronze medal. That is awesome. Congratulations to her. Now, there is a bold and a very big new resident on the coast of Maine. The brand new training ship for the Maine Maritime Academy has arrived. Check this out. Now, the federal government is building 5 identical training ships for the nation's marine colleges. There it is. This is the 3rd one to be completed. And here's Don Kerrigan with an inside look.
It was a big moment. Finally complete and with a fireboat salute, the new state of Maine sailed into Maine waters, ready to train new generations of merchant mariners.
For as long as Maine Maritime Academy has been training people to go to sea, it's had to have ships to do that. They've had 4 of them up to now, all well used before they came to Maine. This ship is brand new. How is she?
Great. It's an amazing ship. Very lucky to have her.
Captain Gordon Mac MacArthur brought his new ship up from Philadelphia.
We did a lot of kind of playing around on the way up. We did test the bow and stern thrusters, pushed all the buttons, did all the things, went full speed for a while. It's faster, more capable, rides better than the old ship. Really? I love the old ship, but this is better.
Better, he says, because there is far more room. There's a bigger dining area for the student crew. Multiple classrooms with more space for teaching with navigation charts, among other skills. Hallways a bit wider.
4-man.
Sleeping areas fresh and more spacious, and a lot more of them.
You guys want to see the lounge?
A few more creature comforts for students off duty. But the biggest difference may be separate spaces for training. For the first time, there is a separate training bridge, a duplicate of the actual ship's control bridge right above it That means hands-on training with the most modern tools. Academy senior William Sherrill likes it.
It's not going to be crowded. You're going to have that one-on-one experience with your faculty that, our academy is known for.
And the actual operation of the ship from the main bridge will happen at the same time. And way down below is what Chief Engineer Aaron Foy calls the best part.
So this here is engine room 1. In the back we have engine room 2. Basically what you see here is the same exact what you see in the other room.
4 big diesel-electric engines, 26,000 horsepower total. But in dual, state-of-the-art engine rooms, so one can always be used for training, and senior engineer Margaret Archibald says that is big.
So if something breaks, we don't have to wait until we're in port. We can get together, we can take it apart, we can fix it, we can put it back together while still running the other engine room.
Chief likes it just as much, because he says the engines, the control systems are all new and up to date, like the ones students will find when they graduate and go to sea.
That's my goal, is to produce a better mariner so that when they step on board, they understand what's going on in the engine room, that they can make sound decisions on what's happening to them at that single moment, get the anxiety out of them here, so that when they're feeling that pressure, they know exactly what to do.
Maine Maritime Academy and its thousands of graduates and supporters have waited years for this ship. So they held a big celebration, including officials from Washington and Maine senators who helped get the money to build the new training ships. Also noting that the state of Maine and the 4 ships like her have a second mission: disaster relief when needed.
Yes, it was designed with that in mind. We have 760 beds that we can house relief workers. We have the roll-on, roll-off cargo bay, so we can put the ramp down somewhere, load a bunch of bucket trucks or relief vehicles.
The rear deck with its helicopter pad is also built to hold down containers like this one. Dozens can be lifted on board and latched down to carry more supplies when necessary. Chief Foy says they could even put up more shelters for more people. Seniors Margaret and William won't get to sail on the new ship. Their final training cruise was last summer on a ship from Texas A&M. But they have learned the lessons and the maturity that this school seems so able to teach.
Junior year, again, I was in charge of almost 430 people for an entire summer, for 71 days. So as a 21-year-old, that's a pretty, that's a pretty high bar, but the academy gives you the tools you need to be successful.
We can definitely credit to the summer sea terms working with the ship's crew is they teach you that problem-solving order, so that when you're faced with something that you know how to approach where to find the solution.
The shiny new state of Maine will be getting a new and much larger pier at the campus in Castine. But the pier isn't quite finished yet, so the ship will spend April in Portland. She will sail in early May with hundreds of students on board eager for the open sea and to get that training and learning for a lifetime.
That was Don Kerrigan reporting from Maine. Now, one thing students might not like as much about this new ship is the amount of stairs they'll need to climb. The old one had 7 decks, and this one has 10. Ooh. Well, they're better than me. Now, this story is a reminder of kindness and compassion. For one Buffalo Bills fan, a moment years ago became the start of a lasting friendship, and it continues to bring her joy, hope, and support while she battles cancer. Courtney Courtwright has more.
If you couldn't already tell, Abby McNett lights up when she's talking about the Bills.
Sasha Allen.
Josh and Abby became big fans of each other after they first connected years ago.
She just fell in love, and I think he made such a connection with her. His eyes were on her the entire time, and it was beautiful.
That special moment.
Remember our handshake?
Growing into a special friendship.
Sash Bear. Come out there.
There's someone out there that's rooting for her and means so much to her. That's what the bear represents for her.
That continues to last.
Note from sell it for me.
A simple handwritten note.
What did you think when you got the card?
I miss him.
With the help of Golisano Children's Hospital, can make a difference.
So she was diagnosed with alveolar rhabdomyosarcoma January 22. And it's an aggressive type of cancer. There's no cure for it. So, once it starts coming back, it's hard.
In April, the family found out Abby had relapsed again.
And she gets scans every 3 months. The doctor's like, I think we missed something. There's something there. So it was very small.
But as Abby continues her fight, so does Abby's Angels, created as a way to give back. The nonprofit focuses on helping caregivers and families of differently abled children under 18 in times of medical emergencies.
We're still finding things out that we didn't know back then, resources that are available and stuff.
Right.
They're still coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
And we're going to try to compile all that and help people find it sooner.
The hope is that information...
But what? Yeah.
Never back down, never give up.
...and kindness gets into the right hands.
What do you want to say to Josh Allen for sending you a card?
Thank you. I love you more.
That was Courtney Courtwright reporting, and that is so adorable. It's always awesome to see the soft side of athletes when they're not, in the thick of a game. All right, still ahead. Imagine floating through the International Space Station, however, doing it without leaving Earth. How one experience is inspiring the next generation of explorers. Plus, a country music fan got pulled on stage to share the spotlight with, how cool is this, singer Luke Bryan. Why that might not have been the biggest surprise of the night. For many kids, space is something they can only imagine, but one immersive experience in Atlanta is breaking down those barriers, giving students the chance to step aboard the International Space Station and see what life in orbit is really like. It isn't just about putting on a VR headset. It's about giving kids access to a world many of them have only read about and helping them see that science, engineering, and even space exploration could someday include them. Here's Caitlin Ross.
Most kids have looked up at the night sky and wondered what it would be like to leave Earth behind.
And we would all feel like we were like floating.
At Space Explorers the Infinite, they don't have to wonder.
So I can go and talk to 1,000 kids about what space is like and what the space station is like, but it's a completely different thing to really feel like you're experiencing it.
Using virtual reality and footage captured aboard the International Space Station, students can walk through the station, float alongside astronauts, and experience life more than 250 miles above Earth.
I already wanted to be in aerospace, and it really it pushed that I wanted to be in it because it showed how cool and how my everyday life would be if I actually majored in that.
The exhibit welcomed students from Georgia Tech's Horizon and Tri-Engineering summer programs. For many of these students, space has always felt distant. Seeing it this way makes careers in engineering, science, and space exploration feel a little closer and a lot more possible.
You can literally look anywhere around you and see something that you hadn't thought you'd see before.
Teachers say that's exactly why experiences like this matter.
Spark curiosity, encourage critical thinking, and also being able to connect those STEM concepts to real life experiences in science, in creativity.
That was Caitlin Ross reporting from Atlanta. That's a pretty cool program. Now, lots of people have band shirts, of course, but none like the one you're about to see, designed by a t-shirt maker for one printing of one shirt only, but worn many more times. Boyd Hubert has the story.
Tahoe Sportswear started in 1995.
If there's one thing
This is screen printing.
Mark Aho knows, it's volume.
T-shirts, and more t-shirts.
How many t-shirts?
Close to 1,000 an hour.
How many?
I don't know if we've eclipsed 10 million yet, but we're probably pretty close.
10 million?
Shirts.
To one.
There's only been one time that I've ever said, guys, set up the machines. I want a shirt for me.
The year 1997.
This is it right now.
A single shirt now on a desk in the office of a man who's clearly a fan of a certain band.
If you ask me who my favorite band is, I won't even mention the Beatles because they're at a class above themselves. Just says John Lennon, 1940 to 1980. John made that drawing himself. I made one.
One he wore to a Ringo Starr concert.
Got a lot of nice shirt, cool shirt, awesome shirt, high fives on the shirts.
One that started something.
AC/DC, seeing Joan Jett and Billy Idol at the Xfinity Center, Paul McCartney at Camden Yards.
Perhaps you've noticed the common denominator in each of Mark's concert photos.
Fish lips at Bob Seger. Paul McCartney again. Probably by the early 2000s, I had come to the conclusion that I will never wear another shirt to a concert. 38 Special and Loverboy.
And he hasn't.
It saw the Stones at least 6 or 7 times.
So how many total has Mark's shirt seen?
350 or more. 350 or more concerts.
We see him in the shirt and we gotta ask, okay, what show are you going to tonight? Where are you and Mom headed to?
Tanner is Mark's son.
Diana Ross at the State Fair with my wife Karen.
I mean, that shirt has seen more concerts than a lot of people will see in their whole entire life.
Taylor, too.
Definitely.
Going to see Night Ranger.
Mark does wash it when it needs it.
We've got some little cracks in there.
Yet it's possible the shirt that's seen Strawberry Field's 78 Rock and Roll Hall of Famers and the Hall of Fame might outlive him.
We've actually talked about, if I will anything to anyone, the kids are going to fight over who's going to get Dad's oversized, stretched out concert shirt.
Eventually, maybe me or my brother would start wearing it to concerts.
Because?
More concerts for the shirt.
Too unique to even consider making another.
My daughter and I seen the Goo Goo Dolls.
Or selling the one he has.
You probably get quarter at a garage sale.
Imagine that.
$1 zillion in my world.
Boyd Hooper.
That's pretty awesome. I like it. Now, you might have heard about or even seen videos of the fan who went viral for his wild dance moves at a Luke Bryan concert in Illinois. Well, Jonas Evans got to talk with him and his wife about that surreal experience that came out of nowhere.
What is your name? Colin.
That's Davenport native Colin Gould. Certainly not where he was expecting to find himself on Friday.
Carver's just sleeping and your dad's just on stage with Luke Bryan right now. I was just like in shock by it.
Attending last week's concert was a last-second decision after finding a sitter for his 15-month-old Carver. But getting on the stage was not part of the plan.
Would you like a little tutorial in shaking it?
I was just dancing, really, honestly. And then he goes, hold up, music stops. And I go, like, I'm like looking around, what's going on? And then he starts pointing our general direction. And I looked at my wife, Lex, and I was like, oh boy, what's going on? And then I kind of like blacked out of it again.
Don't worry, Colin. Lexi's got it all on video.
I remember texting all of our group chats. Like, Colin just got pulled up on stage and everybody was like, what? No, and I wasn't responding because I didn't have service.
So while Lexi tries to desperately relay the scene in front of her, Colin decides to steal the show.
Everyone said I wasn't nervous up there, I looked great, but I'm telling you, the whole time on the inside, I was nervous.
I was really kind of surprised by that. I was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen you do the worm before, ever. I was like...
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
Type in Luke Bryan fan on Facebook now, and Colin is all you'll see, along with thousands of likes.
Everyone just kept coming up to me asking if I was a plant, if my wife and I were plants. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Perfect guy for it, though. This is just his normal. This is how he acts all the time. Especially when he's got a little bit of beer in him.
Well, why not one more? In Moline, Jonas Evans.
That is awesome. Part of the viral video was Bryan offering Colin, get this, lifetime tickets to his shows. Now, the Goulds say they've reached out to Bryan's camp, but so far, they haven't heard back. I hope Luke wasn't just saying that, just because he was in the moment. Follow up on those tickets. Give the family what they deserve. All right, coming up after this break, a picture-perfect coincidence? I'll tell you why one family's Airbnb discovery has millions of people doing a double take. Welcome back. All right, you're not going to believe this one. A family stay at an Airbnb in Southern California took a surprising turn when they spotted what looked like a photo of themselves hanging on the wall. The discovery quickly went viral. Shannon Handy spoke with the woman who posted the video and learned the story behind the photo. Check this out.
Imagine checking into a vacation rental hundreds of miles from home, only to discover yourself in a picture on the wall. The family this happened to says initially they were creeped out, but we now know this was a totally random coincidence.
The weirdest thing happened.
That's Aubrey Burrell and her sister Livy.
Unsettling.
Realizing the people in a photo hanging inside their oceanside Airbnb were actually members of their own family.
My dad had walked up to help unpack some things, and he jokingly looked at the picture and was like, "Hey, that looks like me." And we went and looked, we're like, "That is you." And that's Libby, my sister, and my brother Brady.
They're literally in the Airbnb picture.
Had those swimsuits. The family was in San Diego from Utah celebrating their grandfather's 80th birthday when they made the discovery shortly after checking in.
And it was very, very strange. We were creeped out. So then the rest of the time we would just made jokes about it. And I called all my friends. I FaceTimed them. I was like, "Look how weird."
Aubrey says there was no doubt the people in the photo were them.
We noticed his hair, just the way he stands. And then my little sister always wore her hair like in that kind of ponytail in the middle of her head, and that she has that swimsuit. We always joke around about it. And then I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's Brady." And we were trying to see if we could find anyone else.
The family soon realized the photo dated back to a San Diego trip they took about 12 years ago for a soccer tournament. They stayed in both Mission Beach and Imperial Beach, but still don't know exactly where the picture was taken. They do, however, know how it ended up in the rental.
And we reached out to the Airbnb host, and they said that the decorator is a photographer in San Diego. And so they'll just take aerial shots and then put those in the Airbnb. And so they said it's crazy coincidence.
After Aubrey posted the video to TikTok, it took off, drawing millions of views and comments from around the world.
A lot of people actually said it is good luck. And a lot of people have had similar experiences too. Like, "Oh yeah, I randomly saw myself in a pamphlet for a trip I was on, and don't know how they got me," or "I saw myself in a picture at the store."
As for the trip itself, Aubrey says the family had a great time, adding they may wind up getting a souvenir from it sometime soon.
Did the Airbnb owner ask you to autograph the picture?
No, they actually said they would send it though to us if we wanted it. We're trying to work that out.
Shannon Handy.
Oh my goodness, what are the odds? I'm not gonna lie, I would be a little creeped out too if I were in their shoes. All right, that is it for this episode of Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.